Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are. I fucked that up, didn't I? Never mind. Welcome to something a little different. We're calling it the Friday's Fantastic Forecast. And this is going to be one of those shows where if there's a lot of news to cover in the week, and rather than just do a video for every little thing, we'll just collate everything and then slap it on a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday, whenever people are available, and just talk about the week's events. This week, we've had a plethora of stuff because we've had a bunch of gaming showcases. We've had some crying over Little Mermaid, and we've had gaming showcases and gaming showcases. Oh, and Ubisoft showed off one game, and we'll talk about that one game. So joining me, I've got Hosea and I've got the Reverend Jake. Hope you boys are well.
Oh, I'm here. Anytime.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Everything's good.
Good to hear it. I forgot to put my light on. Great. Talk about unprofessional. There we go. Wow. You can see all the wrinkles. Right. So I think we are going to start with the more controversial topic. And I am, of course, mean Ubisoft, who have gone from a company that used to cover every genre you could imagine. And once upon a time, they did it pretty well to a one game company. Because no matter what other stuff they put out, nobody has any interest in. And the one thing that Ubisoft is pushing and pushing really hard is the one game that once upon a time, when Assassin's Creed Black Flag came out, people were bored of the genre. And they wanted something, not Black Flag. What was the one after Unity?
Syndicate.
Syndicate.
Oh, man. I'd say people were bored of the genre before then, but yeah.
Yeah, they were getting bored of the genre, but Ubisoft went back to the table and made it even more boring than what it was. And suddenly people are like, yeah, I like this boring version. And Ubisoft are like, oh, well, it's somehow still making us money. So we're just going to milk the shit out of it. And we got showcased about 20 Assassin's Creed games, all within one live service game of Assassin's Creed Infinity. Then we got Assassin's Creed, I'll just call it Shogun, because I can't remember what it was actually called.
Mirage.
No, Mirage was the one in Iraq.
Mirage
The one in feudal Japan.
Code Red.
Yeah.
Huh?
Code Red.
Code Red.
Code Red, which I think is part of the. I'm gonna put my headphones on because my laptop speakers are rubbish. So while I do that, what were your guys' thoughts on Ubisoft's gaming showcase?
Jake, go ahead.
I actually didn't see it. So I wasn't able to watch it. Work and all that stuff has been kind of dominating my life. But I heard a little bit about it. Mirage is going back to the Middle East, whatever. That's where Assassin's Creed has its roots. I haven't heard much about the live service yet. Not looking forward to that. I think live services are bad. Usually just a money-making scheme. Code Red, I mean, we've been asking for Japan for forever. The truth of the matter is, I'm a old school Assassin's Creed fan. I loved it when they had the multiplayer. I played the shit out of it. I've got a signed T-shirt from the developers. I played it live at PAX in a competition once. Huge. And then they came out with Unity and they replaced the fun multiplayer with boring co-op multiplayer, and I really haven't played the game since.
Okay, yeah, Jose?
Yeah, for me, the showcase, it is what it is. They're going back to the Middle East, like Jake said, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But if we're going to be honest, the peak of Assassin's Creed, if you ask most people, was probably anywhere between 2 to 4. Me personally, I think Odyssey might have been the last great Assassin's Creed game. That was the last one that I really enjoyed all around. I'm not so much looking forward to the live service Assassin's Creed because I think they're going to totally get away from single player, and soon enough they'll alienate that portion of the fan base, and it could either really help Assassin's Creed with the money or it could kill the franchise, and I hope it doesn't kill it. I worry that if they go entirely multiplayer, it's going to ruin the franchise, especially with all the microtransactions that we have enough in gaming as it is.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was alluding to there. I mean, it's just live service is just going to be an excuse for them to add in more microtransactions anywhere and everywhere. And I think that really the game shines in its first player, single player content. And again, in the old school multiplayer content, which was,
Now you're talking around the Brotherhood era.
Yeah, I am talking Brotherhood era. Yeah,
So
where
good.
the game was entirely about sneaking around and killing people stealthily, and it's the only multiplayer game that I've really found that isn't about run around as fast as you can and kill as many people as quickly as you can. You got more points by doing it slowly, by stalking your prey. And I'm reminiscing about days long gone. It doesn't matter anymore. I need to learn to move on with my life.
Well, no, I mean, but that's the point, Jake. Though the point is, like, when I rant about Ubisoft, is it comes from a place that of love. Well, once a company that once loved,
Be careful
you
what we
know.
say about loving Ubisoft these days.
Yeah. Well, when all the other stuff came out, now I hope they fucking die a slow death as a company, not the people.
That's about
Because
it.
of all the disgusting stuff that came about. But prior to that knowledge, what came from it? Like, I love the Assassin's Creed game. I enjoyed the old format. I know people got bored of it, but I didn't. I loved Syndicate. I enjoyed Unity. I loved playing those games. I even enjoyed the co-op in Unity because I lean more towards co-op stuff. I prefer co-op, but I also love the multiplayer in Brotherhood. So the only Assassin's Creed game I didn't like, and I kind of never went back to because it was broken when it came out, was Assassin's Creed 3. But that's just one of those I've never gone back to. I'm sure if I went back to and played, I'd enjoy it.
That's the one with the Native American, right?
Yeah, that's
Connor?
the one with the native with Connor.
I
Yeah.
cosplayed as Connor once. I actually have his cosplay.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very nice. And so then they changed the format. Now, Origins has the best level I've ever played in because I loved Egypt. It was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And being Greek, it was during the Ptolemaic era. So that was kind of sweet on my part to see that. But I just found the gameplay slow, boring. It was too long and all this kind of stuff. And Valhalla is the first Assassin's Creed game where I've just not bothered with at all. With Mirage, I hope they kind of go back to the old Assassin's Creed style. I don't mind a mixture of the two, but I would prefer just what made it great in the first place. The combat was a lot more fluid and more fun and all this kind of stuff. But that being said,
can I ask you this though? Like, okay, if you what would be your ideal formula for this Assassin's Creed? Like, do you want them to take it back to 2, 4, or a combination of both? Like, what do you think would make this almost as identical to old school Assassin's Creed as it can get?
Well, I want to feel like a stealth game. I want it to feel like an actual stealth game. Assassin's Creed it's never really been a good stealth game. Let's be fucking honest. It's been a good Assassin's game, but it took how many decades before they could duck? You know what I mean? They couldn't even fucking crouch down. What I want are the mechanics of, say, something like Spider-Man, but in a fucking Assassin's Creed game. That fluid motion, jumping from one place, the acrobatics, a parkour element where it isn't just pressing a button and it does it. That kind of stuff.
But it is that, and you're using Spider-Man as an example, and I'm assuming you're talking about the PS4 Spider-Man game. And in that, I mean, really everything is as simple as just pushing a button. I mean, web traffic, and moving via your webs it is a little more dynamic than that. But even then, you're still just tapping O and tapping.
Yeah, I'm talking about more just like maybe Tomb Raider is a better example, like the early days of Tomb Raider, the kind of jumping, the clinging on the timing, all this kind of stuff. Because if it's doing it for you, it takes away from the fun. It's not just that; it's that there needs to be random elements of shit that you can do.
It takes away from the immersion.
Yeah, it just takes away the fact that everything's just formulaic and there's no kind of that feel of freedom of movement in terms of just having something simple. Like Ubisoft never have jump buttons in their fucking game ever, and it infuriates me because how many times I get stuck behind a rock and I can't get out simply because I can't jump. Every other game you can just jump your way out, but with Ubisoft games you can't fucking jump your way out. Yeah. And it's just little things like that I want to see. I want to see more fluid motion. In fact, give me the mechanics of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I could
in
see
an
that.
Assassin's Creed game. There we go. I was trying to think. I couldn't think.
There
Of
you
it.
go. That's probably a better example.
I could say, yeah, if you combine Ghost of Tsushima with Assassin's Creed 2, I think you'd have the perfect game. I really do.
With 2, I don't know about 2. 2 is really clunky. The battle system is really immature at that stage.
4?
I mean, well, I don't know.
Rogue.
4.
Rogue?
Yeah,
Rogue
Rogue.
had the best kind of fluid movement. They were great.
I'm in the middle of a let's play on that on my YouTube channel that no longer makes videos.
What one? Rogue.
Yeah, I was doing.
I love Rogue. Rogue's one of my favorite ones.
Be a rogue.
I'm currently going through the first one right now, so I'm starting from the very beginning, and I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, you could see how dated it is in 2007. Granted, it's on the Xbox, and they did the FPS boost, but even so, it just looks so dated. You just look at it and you go, oh my god, I can't believe this came out 15 years ago.
I remember the hype around it, and I remember playing it, and I was just like, oh, this is a great game, but it's very limited in the fucking movement. Like,
and very repetitive as to what you can do.
But it was so telling of that generation of consoles where just the character movement, the character engines was so much more basic and dialed back compared to because I grew up on Unreal Engine 2 stuff, and I grew up on fucking Ataris, but
yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were older than that.
Nah, I'm older than that. But what I mean is, I fell in love with the Unreal 2 engine and the stuff that you could do there. Like, for example, and it always harken back to this one, and this is purely for PC because I don't know if console could do this one. But Jedi Knights, Jedi Outcast, there was stuff you could do in that game that were completely unnecessary, but there were fantastic additions. So in a saber combat, if you press jump and saber and up, he would flip over the opponent whilst hacking down at them. So he'd just jump over the opponent, cut their head. Next to a wall, he'll just bounce off a wall and do somersaults off of walls and all this kind of stuff. It's unnecessary, but it adds to the fun. And that's the stuff that we just don't get in games anymore. Everything's just by the numbers, formulaic, and it pisses me off because I go back and I always play games from that era of 2000 to 2003, and it's just never beaten in terms of gameplay ability and that. So that's what I just want to see Assassin's Creed evolve to something. Well, I mean, look at Forspoken. Have you guys seen that game?
Heard of it?
The one that has the world's worst dialogue. It's coming out soon.
If it has ... in it, that's how you know it's the worst dialogue. We have to do something ...
Well, no, it's more like constant fucking quips and stupid 90s Whedonisms and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, you mean like Taints Row? Yeah,
that might be right up my alley. I'm a '90s kid, so that might be right up my alley.
You mean like
probably like it there. It's like Saints Row, but even worse.
You mean like Taints Row? Hello, fellow students.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. But the gameplay looks amazing. You've got different spells, the way she moves and jumps around and flies up in it. All this looks gorgeous. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go too much off track. Those are my thoughts on on Ubisoft's. Oh no, hang on! But there was a controversy as well because Ubisoft got an adult 18 rating for Assassin's Creed, and that was because, apart from the blood, gore, and violence, there were elements of gambling in the game.
No, get out of here!
Yep, you can check it out. It says elements of gambling, and I'm like, oh, what are they going to do now? They're going to make you trade stuff in for other stuff, and you can gamble and loot machines and all this kind of shit. But apparently that got changed, and the ESRB and Peggy walked it back to I think just a mature rating, and there's apparently no gambling mechanics in it. But here's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing the game got rated. They saw the gambling mechanics. Ubisoft have taken them out, resubmitted the game, saying, no, there's no gambling in it. And then once the game's out, they'll add it in a patch.
It's going to be an RNG thing, I think, because they do that with games now.
They do that with games. They do it all the fucking time.
Fucking loot box shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there could be gambling mechanics. I have no faith. I have no faith in Ubisoft that it would just get a straightforward game. They always do this kind of shit. If they do, I honestly think. Actually, I can't say I honestly think this will be the end of Ubisoft because people fucking anything with gambling mechanics and people seem to lap it up.
Look at all this money we're making. Look at this. We're making money. And then they're just going to
Yeah.
keep fucking doing it. So that's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if the game is horrible, that's the end of Ubisoft. If the game is good and it has all the shitty micros in it,
it's going to make bank.
It's going to make bank. That's the sad reality of it. But Skull and Bones is going to come out and disappear. Nobody's going to give a shit about that. These other fucking games that they showcased, like another Division, I think DLC, nobody cares about that.
They won't let that one die.
No, and that's another game that was a wasted opportunity. It was so fucking boring, unbelievable. You know, where's Splinter Cell? Still no Splinter Cell. No Beyond Good and Evil 2, which looked amazing. They're just gonna die on the Assassin's Creed hill and go from there. So yeah, before I move on, any final thoughts on Ubisoft and anything?
I think it's that and Far Cry. It's a 2-game company. That's all they give a fuck about.
Well, honestly, most companies these days are. If it's they produce a AAA title, they don't produce more than 2.
Yeah,
pretty accurate.
Yeah. Right, I've got a comment here from Senor Vance. Hang on, I'll bring it up. Ubisoft can learn a lot from games like Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Great combat, awesome soundtrack, spectacular story. Only complaint is it was too short. And that was just a very small indie team that developed that.
I got to play that. I know the second game's about to come out here in I think another month or so.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I got to start that.
That was a good one. What was the A Plague's Tale as well? Another one. Small developer, fantastic stealth.
Plague's Tale Innocence is the first one, and then Requiem is going to be the second one coming out.
Requiem's going to be the second one, and it looks great because they've added combat in it now as well. So that's right up my alley. That's exactly the type of games I love. Stealth with combat elements, not just sneaking around and then dying the minute you get caught, which is what I always hated about the Styx games, I think they were called.
And it's going to be on Game Pass.
Well, there you go. You're going to get it on Game Pass.
Yep.
So happy days for you. Cool. All right. Moving on. Then we had Call of Duty. They had their showcase. And oh, mama, was I happy. Up until Modern Warfare came out, I hadn't played Call of Duty since, I think, Ghosts.
Nor should you.
Huh? Well, look, I got bored of the franchise, but Modern Warfare and Warzone were just fantastic fun. I think because I play with Swamp Donkey and me and him have such a laugh. Like, we don't take it serious. We don't play to win. We play to fuck about and just have a good laugh.
You guys have lives.
Huh?
You have lives.
Yeah, we have lives. We don't.
No. I have a life. I don't log into the game.
Here's the interesting thing, though. Just to slightly toot my own horn. Every time they put on special events, me and Swamp Donkey have always come first on special events, or we've managed to be. Yeah, we suck at Battle Royale. Yeah. The best position I ever got was second. Okay, we usually just play plunder. We've won a couple of plunder games, but we just play to level up guns and get blown up and run each other over or run other people. You know, we play for fun. So that's what got me back into the Call of Duty games. Now, Cold War sucked. Valiant or whatever
Vanguard was ass.
Sucked. I had no interest in getting those games because I don't. I mean, Call of Duty, Cold War, the zombie games were fun. Again, playing with somebody who likes to have fun rather than take it fucking serious. But that being said, Infinity Ward are back, and we've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. And yeah, the beta's out today. They look fantastic. A lot of good game modes. Jake, you're not a Call of Duty fan, are you?
No, not in the least. The only thing good that they did was zombies. Was that even them? I'm not 100% sure.
It was Treyarch that introduced zombies.
Treyarch introduced the zombies, and they're the ones that's the one area that they're good at. Like Outbreak on Cold War is a fantastic game, and that's the only reason I bought Cold War was for the zombie game, because I haven't played the story mode of any Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2. Funnily
The
enough,
original Modern
yeah,
Warfare
because I
2.
don't care about that. I just want the multiplayer because I have a laugh, and I play hardcore mode, which is like one bullet and you're dead.
Honestly, to be really fair about it, I think part of my thing is I cannot stand first-person shooters on a controller. I'm an old school PC player for playing Quake and a lot of that kind of stuff back in the day. Counter-Strike before it was even released.
Damn, dude, that's going way back.
Oh,
No,
dude, Counter-Strike beta. I'm not even talking about the stuff where you buy Counter-Strike. I'm talking about like you got to buy fucking Half-Life. And
Yeah,
you gotta
like
mod
that's
Counter-Strike into
yeah.
it manually yourself.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going back. That's old school right there.
So that's kind of where I come from in a history of gaming, and so I have never adjusted to a first-person shooter on a controller. And honestly, the way that I've heard about the culture that's popped up around a lot of those games has just driven a knife in it further. Halo players and Call of Duty players are fabled across the entirety of the world as some of the shittiest people to deal with online. And it one of the things where the fans just push me away from it, and the gameplay doesn't seem like it evolves when I hear about it from the outside. It's just, yeah, okay, we shot people, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. You're not wrong about the fandom. I learned about that when so I'm like you, Jake. I old school PC when it comes to first person shooters. I hate them on console. I still hate them, and the only one I've really enjoyed is Time Splitters 2 on the GameCube, and the Call of Duty games on 360 and now PS4. Not all of them, just up until Ghost. And I know a lot of people hate Ghost, but I enjoyed it. The multiplayer anyway. But I'm with you. I've started off from like Quake 2 and kind of evolved from there. And console, I still struggle. Like when I play like sniper contracts on my new laptop that I've got now that does games and that, and it's just a world of difference. That being said, they're a lot of fun. The toxic fandom doesn't help, but when you're only doing team chat and you're not listening to anyone else, it's fun, you know. So yeah, but
I tend to play a lot of games by myself, so it's either I'm 100% alone or I'm in with the public pool, and the public pool is, well, like we said, terrible. So
yeah, and you can mute that shit, thankfully. So there's that.
Yeah. I don't talk to members of the public, just my teammates, because I don't want to deal with their racist or sexist bullshit. Because we used to have on Modern Warfare 2 back in 2008, we had a female team member who was always like the MVP. She's a phenomenal player, and they just abuse her, even though she'd whoop everyone's ass.
It's all I'm gonna say in regard to this. Like, if you're expecting Call of Duty to go back to the good old days of when like you had to be on the voice chat to talk to people, it'll never be like that again. Like those lobbies, if you go back and you listen to like some of the YouTube videos now, you would be amazed at the shit people say to each other. You could not get away with that today.
No, and the good thing is people get banned a lot quicker if they throw out racist abuse, because like when we have been on team chats and things like that, when they did certain game modes in Warzone, we were reporting. And anytime I heard the N word, I'm like, no, I'm being petty. I'm reporting you. And you get a report back saying this player has been banned because they catch the voice recordings and they chuck you out.
As far as gameplay goes, though, okay, I played the beta. Gunplay is actually pretty damn good. Like, if you were a fan of Modern Warfare 2019, I think you're going to like this one. I really do. I'm looking forward to the campaign. Shameless plug, if you pre-order digitally, you'll get the campaign a week early, which is good for you people that are going to want to delve into the multiplayer almost immediately upon release.
Wait a second. Is that a plug or a free advertisement?
It's a free advertisement.
Yeah, if you're making money off it, then go ahead.
Yeah, we want to
get some money.
Hey, man.
One of us needs to be a shill for one of the big companies here.
Yeah, but you never know, man. But anyway, this is one of those where I'm not going into it with high expectations, though, as far as the campaign. I don't think it'll be as controversial as the original Modern Warfare 2.
No.
For those of you that have played the No Russian mission, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll never be that controversial again. I don't see Activision and Infinite Warfare or Infinity Ward pushing the buttons like they did back then.
Well, especially now that it's not really Activision anymore; it's Microsoft.
Yeah, it's Microsoft because now they own
No,
every
it's not Microsoft yet. It's not Microsoft yet. It hasn't been officially finalized. I know they're in, but there's no dotted T's or any shit yet.
They got a year though. They got a
But
year.
they'll get it eventually. I mean, they'll get it eventually, obviously. But yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, it looks fantastic. A couple of interesting game modes. You can swim underwater now as well. Fuck's sake, it took them ages just to put that. That's in Warzone too. I mean, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. I never ever thought I'd say that about Call of Duty, but here we are.
Yep.
I am sitting there saying that I cannot wait for Infinity Ward's Call of Duty. But again, this falls on to the fact that gaming has become so shit that was the reason I ended up downloading Warzone. I got it because there was no other good games out at the time, and we just happened to have a good time, and that kind of reignited a kind of love for Call of Duty that left decades before.
Hello.
I said pink for tie.
But I'm going to ask a question though. Like, okay, in your honest opinion, guys, do you think we set the bar too low for gaming? I personally think that we have. I think the bar has gotten very low over the last decade for video games, at least on consoles anyway.
I think as far as the gameplay itself goes, I feel people are too invested in the cinematic experience, and the gameplay itself has not developed at all. Exactly. I think we're still using a lot of the same tricks that were developed for, like we're talking about Assassin's Creed. Those games, the core of it hasn't changed very much, just a little bit here and there, minor upgrades. Things get smoothed out a little bit, but nothing really changes. And the same thing I was commenting when I look at Modern Warfare from the outside, it looks the same as all the fucking other games. Maybe there's a new map, who knows?
Yeah, no, it hasn't changed much.
And then you got football games, and they're just reskinning the shit out of those. Who cares? You could reskin them half the time.
And you could throw Grand Theft Auto in there. Grand Theft Auto has not changed literally since Grand Theft Auto 3. You go somewhere, you drive, you kill somebody.
I don't know about that. The missions have gotten a little bit better. Well, since 3, maybe not.
The concept hasn't changed much though since 3.
The gameplay is also mind-numbingly fucking boring for GTA. I'm sorry, I have to say, I find GTA so bloody boring. Because it's the same game. It's the same game over and over. And again, GTA 5, I only enjoyed it because I was playing it online first with Sam and then with someone else and all of that. And it's only when you're having a laugh with other people that it was tolerable. Other than that, it's like, go here, get this money,
kill him,
win money, get this, and it's like drip fed money, and everything costs a lot of money, so you're fucking grinding. But Rockstar, I fucking hate Rockstar anyway. I can't stand them as a company. They ruined Red Dead Redemption Online because of their greed, and then they complained, and I'm like, if you'd have gone fucking steampunk with online and had a lobby that just did silly stuff, and then a normal lobby, you would have made money because people would have been sitting there just buying gold to get flying fucking vehicles, all this kind of dumb shit. But it was so boring and it was so grindy that it just ruined the experience. And again, if I didn't have a friend that I was enjoying myself with on there, I would have quit online like as soon as it came out.
And this is why I went through my great video game depression, where I just basically stopped playing a lot of games because I didn't have the right people to play with. And if you didn't already have an existing group of friends to play with, these games are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Getting randos is bad. You might occasionally get some randos in your group that are good people that communicate and they're fun to hang out with for the game. But usually you're getting a bunch of people who don't want to talk. And any kind of talk is a sign that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and then they don't want to play with you, and they're a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I'm going to piss people off. Borderlands, it's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and even Borderlands has fell into that same trap of like, oh my God, it used to be so fun to play, and now it's just like, it just doesn't hit the same anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Dan,
not fun.
I see your request to game with me, and man, if I ever get back to gaming in a more regular fashion, I'll let you know. But with a 2-year-old toddler in my house,
Those days are gone, mate.
Those days are gone. Yeah, you're not going to be getting back on your
no, I
headset.
got
for a
like
while.
another 4 years of this before I can really.
Yeah, before you can get back to gaming again.
That's why my brother gave me his VR headset, because he's got kids now. He can't game for shit anymore.
I'm a huge D&D freak, and I've been trying to pull a game together, and the best I could do was Saturday nights at 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. because that's the only time I can get free from the toddler.
Yeah, kids sleep, so now's the time we got to play.
Yeah,
quick about it.
That's, again, I know this sounds horrible, and more power to everyone that does it, but this is why one of the reasons I don't want kids. It just cuts into my selfish side.
I'm glad I'm single, and I'm glad I'm single, and I don't have kids for this one of these reasons.
Yeah,
it was great not having kids for a while, but when you
have kids, it's
in the morning, and he smiles when he sees you and gives you a big giant hug.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
I mean,
worth it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I said. I just had my nephews now. They came round, and we had a great time, And the good thing is, like, I'm not like their parents. I'm very much on. Like,
you're lenient.
No. I'm more stricter than the parents, but not strict as in don't do this, don't do that. I'm just like, all right, if you want to do this, let's do this first, and then do that, and then we'll get with me. And so they're as good as gold with me. You don't even know that you have twins that go everywhere else and act up for mum and dad, but with uncle, they're just doing their thing, being silly, but in a good way.
Yeah,
and I love that. But I love that I can just give them back at the end of the day, and
then go on about your business. Yeah,
nerd family talk. Friday family nerd talk.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Duty.
Gaming.
Because we would rather talk about your nephews and random kids than anything related to fucking modern
video games.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, we're going to move on from Modern Warfare. I've got somebody called Arsenal Maniac joining us. Hello, supporting the best team in the world. We're going to win the league. No, we're not. Right, moving on. So, yes, anyway, Call of Duty, we've talked about that. Next, we had Nintendo's showcase. And
give me Zelda.
You guys.
Yeah.
Jose, go for it.
Give me Zelda. That's why we're here. Because everyone knows it's like, okay, we're here for Zelda. I mean, yeah, Kirby got his spotlight. Kirby's cool. He's awesome. The little skinny Majin Buu pink-looking thing that eats and copies people. He's awesome. But we're all here for Breath of the Wild, too. Everyone knows it's coming. It's going to be out in May. I might be doing my first midnight release for the first time in like 5 years since Smash Ultimate came out. But I'm very much looking forward to Zelda. This is the one game that I'm actually excited to dust my Switch off for. Although Splatoon 3 hasn't been that bad, though.
Okay, cool. Jake?
Oh, man, I saw Dan's wonderful comment about Nintendo Direct being all farming simulators, and I don't think that's the case at all. Honestly, I thought it was a really good one. I mean, okay, so you get Fire Emblem Engage. I'm a huge RPG guy, okay? So Fire Emblem Engage looks pretty cool. It's tactical turn-based. We don't get new turn-based RPG games anymore, so that was cool. Octopath Traveler, I love the old school look and feel of that. So, again, I was super excited by it. The Pikmin games are just silly fun to sit down and play.
It's about time it came back.
Yeah, so there's something else good there. They're talking about, a shitty Hyrule game that no one cares about because we want Breath of the Wild 2, and I get your point there. But it's still it's more Zelda, so it's not like it's a bad. I'm not upset by any of the projects that they announced there. I think they're all worthwhile announcements, and my excitement ranges from fuck yeah to yeah, cool. So I really don't think it was that bad.
Cool. I hated it because it was all farm fucking simulators, and I find I just find Japanese games bore the living shit out of me. It's either hack and slash or fucking go pick up a bloody monster and have sex with it or whatever they fucking do. But
that's only Berserk.
Yeah, oh, sorry, but whatever. People loved it. People like those kind of games. That's absolutely fine. It's fucking harmless. It's me. But as soon as I saw Breath of the Wild 2, which I forgot the name of the bloody thing.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Eh?
Tears of the Kingdom.
That's the one. Tears of the Kingdom. I was moist. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
ready.
go. Yep.
I got a Nintendo Switch. The last time I turned it on was for Kirby, which I loved. I hated seeing the fucking 2D one. I was just like, what a waste. Give me more 3D Kirby. That game was amazing. And now I'm going to go get Zelda, and I'm going to love the shit out of that. And you won't see me for a couple of weeks because
that's how it's going to be when it comes out for me.
I still haven't finished Breath of the Wild yet.
I haven't either. I even have the strategy guide for the damn game, and I still haven't gotten through the thing.
Oh, really? I finished it.
And so it's been 2 years I've been trying to play this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Octopath Traveler looks amazing. There you go.
Yeah.
You got a fan?
There was one game I saw that looked fairly similar to Animal Crossing, and yet it's going to have like RPG combat. I'm like, that one is kind of intriguing. I forgot what it was called.
Daniel Vance, that's a great comment there that we've got highlighted. Fifth Aid AD&D. So I just want a side note. I am trying to get a D&D game going using a virtual table, and I'm kind of curious how much our audience would be interested in watching Zam play his first D&D game like a complete noob.
That would be hilarious just to see him.
I think Zam's played before with me and Christina.
He said he's made a character, but he's never really played.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, so he's got this character idea that he really wants to play, and I need to help him turn it into a real character. But yeah,
last time I've played D&D once. I'm not a fan of it, but again, I love the world around it. It's like always fascinating to see people get involved. The one time I played, I blew all my money on whores. Gemini did chant, "Oh, welcome to the stream." Wants to know what edition.
What edition of what?
So we're gonna watch. We're gonna play 3.5. The game that I'm talking about with Zam that I'd like to broadcast is going to be in 3.5. We're going to play Dragonlance. If you're familiar with it, we're going to play the original War of the Lance campaign modules that have been modified for 3.5 and whatnot. So yeah, that's that.
Cool. There you go. Okay.
Zam says he's going to wake up at 4:00 in the motherfucking morning on a Sunday to come play D&D with us. There ain't no motherfucking way he's going to be on time at all, and if he even shows.
Zam's a cab driver. He gets up early. Gets up early. Yeah, he'll get up that early. You know, he does it for cab jobs.
Yeah, he's the type of dude to get his work done, and then he'll go play.
Oh, we love you too, Arsenal Manic.
Thank you, man.
For joining us.
We appreciate the comp.
Zam is streaming FIFA now.
Of course he is, because FIFA 23 is about to come out in the next couple of weeks.
Oh man, that's as big of a scam as those fucking Madden games.
I don't know.
Madden and FIFA are just reskinned gambling card games.
Half the time. They put like
they don't reskin them. They reskin the retitle.
Here's the big exploit. Here's the big exploit. I don't know if you guys know, but like, okay, on Madden, if you go like the instant replay feature, like, and you zoom in like where the benches are and all that shit, they're still using coding from Madden 19. That tells you how broken it fucking is. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're still using coding from 19, so that tells you that they don't update their game all that much.
Well, I'll tell you this: as a programmer, every fucking company in the world does shit like that constantly. Like,
they do.
There is so much shit. I just got done, with the company I work for, which I won't say right here, upgrading some of our stuff from like 15-year-old code bases, and we're supposed to be a new modern company, and it's just like, whoa!
You're supposed to be a new modern company, you still have 15-year-old coding.
Oh, most companies do though.
Most companies do. You're right.
Hell, and even when you stop to think about it, kind of backtracking to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 with the beta, it kind of looked like that to me.
And why rewrite something when you can just copy pasta from your old one?
Yeah, for real.
That's it. Copy pasta and carry on making bank. Why,
copy
smart strategy. It's smart strategy. It's and for FIFA and Madden, it fucking works.
Because you idiots are gonna buy the damn game anyway, pal. You're gonna blow all your money on microtransactions. That's how we do it around here.
Yeah.
Really, I think a lot of these games, they could come out with their yearly update as a DLC. And that would be legitimate, 10 to $20. It updates the roster. It maybe a little tiny tweak here or there as on the code. But if they're not changing the base of the game, there's no reason why my ass is paying another fucking $60, $70 nowadays.
Yeah, 80 if you go deluxe or beyond, which why would you? I don't understand why you would.
I bet you Zam will with the football. He loves his football.
Yeah, Zam will probably be the kind of dude.
But again, Zam gets FIFA every year because he's got a team to play with. And so he gets it because other people get it. And one of the people that gets the game is a fucking maniac who buys all the special editions shit. Okay? And
so that goes back to Modern Warfare. We were saying during that conversation that all of these games are immeasurably better when you have a dedicated friend group to play that game with.
Yeah, and there's no way I would play Modern Warfare without a friend, especially the friend that I play with. There's no fucking way. I'd be bored out of my mind. But because he's an idiot and I'm an idiot, and we both...
You like to take the piss out of it.
I want to say we sucked, but we've gotten a lot better, but we're still not great. But, it makes all the world a difference. Because if you can't do multiplayer with a bunch of fuckwits. It's just, so I can understand why he gets FIFA every year.
And this is their last year too, because now it's like, holy shit, they lost the license. EA actually lost the FIFA license.
That's because FIFA fucking were like, yeah, pay us this amount of money.
And EA's like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
No. Yeah. No. We're just no, there's just no point. You're just not worth.
No, I'll say, man, brand name carries a crap ton in these games. Like, I forgot what team, what it was, but like I've seen a lot of times where like they have the NHL license or whatever, and then all of a sudden, they lose the license. They're like, oh well, we're gonna make a knockoff, just regular hockey game and call it Power Hockey or whatever sport it is, and that even though it's the same developer who just held the license. That knockoff label does not sell half as well as the big label.
Yeah, the marketability is crazy. Like,
we'll find out. We'll find out what happens with the EA because it'll be interesting. Because obviously FIFA is one of their biggest money makers.
They're going to put everything into.
They lost Star Wars.
Yeah, they're going to put everything into Star Wars and Madden. That's going to be their two big franchises.
No, they don't have Star Wars anymore. They lost it.
Oh, they don't.
No, they haven't lost it. They just don't have exclusivity.
Okay, so
they can still develop games, but thankfully Disney fucking woke up and thought like, hang on a second, why are we giving it to just one company who are making shit?
Yeah, let's pimp it
out. To every company.
Yep.
And every company can make shit.
Which makes the perfect transition because moving on from whatever the hell we were just talking about.
Good segue.
We go into Disney and Marvel's gaming showcase, which was a big pile of shit. It just gave us fucking mobile games for the most part.
Wait, you don't own a phone? Don't you guys own phones?
Don't you guys own a phone? And whatever they showed us,
I got my fiance cracking up over on the side of us now.
Don't you guys have a phone? Yes, I have a console and I want to play on a fucking console. Or a PC. So they didn't really show much. There was one interesting thing. Obviously, the lady that was one of the creative directors of Uncharted is now doing a Marvel game with Black Panther and Captain America set in World War II. Now that I'm sure it'll be a good game, but if it's anything to go by Uncharted, it will be interspersed with 50,000 fucking cutscenes. Every time you want to do something.
50,000 cutscenes.
Huh?
I would say that Marvel fans want 50,000 cutscenes. I would say that Marvel fans want a 22-minute episode at the end of every chapter. And have to tie into the MCU and include at least 3 cameos that weren't.
And it's all canon. Dude. And it all has to be canon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to be canon in MCU.
Yeah.
In 616, not 615.
I know what they need to do.
And I want twerking She-Hulk DLC.
I know what to do. Copy Metal Gear Solid 4, and that's all you got to do. Because if you want cutscenes, just put in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh my God.
That right there could be a movie in itself because I
That's what
remember.
used to
Dude,
like.
Metal Gear Solid, the original, I think is still worse.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 1 didn't really have that many cutscenes, but like,
Are you smoking crack?
no, by the time you got to 4 had like 4 was like a freaking movie. Like you would go from
No. 4 was not as bad as the original. I don't know how well a youngin like you remembers this.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, but it's up there though. Like 1 and
You
4.
played the one on the original PlayStation. You add the load times in with everything else, and
I never got the hype around Metal Gear Solid for that
But
reason.
I swear to you though,
the original was fucking fantastic.
oh yeah, Metal Gear 1 is like my top 5 of all time. Like I could go back and play that right now and still have a great time playing it.
You know,
But-
and really to go back, you know, on that. See, for me, I actually kind of like the cutscenes because I'm a storytelling guy. It's honestly it's why I'm here at NerdTube. I love movie storytelling. I love video game storytelling. I love D&D storytelling. All of that shit. And the nerdier the better. And so I don't mind these cutscenes. Like, you know, using Metal Gear Solid as an example. I think they bring a lot of flavor and excitement into why I'm doing what I'm doing. Past
But
just,
what I'm talking
guard.
about, what I mean is, okay, at the end of the level you get your cutscene. Or
Right.
halfway at a checkpoint you get a cutscene. With the Uncharted games, literally your game is interrupted with a cutscene. You're right in the middle of the game, and you just get a fucking camera that pans, and then a bunch of shit happens, and then you do QTs and all this. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked Uncharted 2 and 3. I absolutely hated the last Uncharted game because it was just constant cutscenes, and it bored me to tears. And this is my only fear. This is my only fear with this game coming out. But hopefully, that's more of the other guy's thing and not hers. Who I forget his name, Travis something, who did the Uncharted games with Amy. They should have swapped Captain America for Isaiah Bradley and Black Panther. Yeah, that would have just triggered people.
Yeah, that would have.
That's half the point. I think this would have been fucking great. Oh my god, Black Panther and Isaiah Bradley, Captain America. Fuck yes, bring it on.
I'd buy it. I'd get that. But
I'd buy that for $5.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't give a shit if it's Marvel and it's third person and fun and not like the Avengers abomination.
You'll play it. Yeah.
I want something that's closer to the Lego Avengers.
Yes, I agree.
Games.
I love the Lego games. I can't wait for the next Lego Marvel game. We are so overdue.
Yeah.
Shout out to fucking Lego.
Oh yeah,
games. Awesomeness. I love it. Lego Star Wars is top 5 games.
Dude, if you don't have Lego Star Wars, you are seriously missing out. You really are.
I remember when I saw the first one, and this was in an era where, you know, Star Wars games were dead. And then Lego Star Wars comes along, and I'm like,
this is awesome.
Star Wars game that I've wanted for years.
Yeah.
I loved it. The very first one. And I've never played a bad Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, my fiance listening and sitting at her computer next to us, and she would like me to point out that Final Fantasy 14 is holy fuck cutscenes as well.
Yeah.
It's so bad that occasionally it'll warn you you're about to enter a cutscene that may last like an hour long.
Get your popcorn ready.
If you're not ready.
Yeah.
Like literally pops up in
could you skip those cutscenes, or were you stuck with them?
You are stuck with them.
Oh, dude, that right there is gaming hell.
There are some here and there you can cut, you can skip through, but a bunch of them are like you have to play through it. It's not a full cutscene, but it's rather an in-game cutscene.
That instantly is an uninstall for me. If I cannot skip cutscenes, I'll uninstall a game.
That's at least the one credit I
don't
get.
Play 14 if you don't want the story, but the story is fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
it is a really good fun game too.
Fun fact: the first Final Fantasy game I played after 7 was Final Fantasy 15.
Here's what's fun.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a terrible game.
But I don't like turn-based combat. That's why I never played the Final Fantasy games. And then I just saw Final Fantasy 15. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous looking, but the game was okay. Yeah.
Rev Jake is gonna lose his mind over this. I am in the section that has never played a Final Fantasy game.
And that's fine, actually. That
Yeah.
doesn't bother me as much as finding out that one of your only experiences in the world is 15.
I've never played a Final Fantasy.
Like at least a clean slate is a clean slate. I can introduce you to some great games, and you can really enjoy the fantasy of the world, the mythos, and all of that shit. But when you've already been destroyed by playing 15, why would he take any other chance at any of the other games? That game is so bad. I feel so bad for you, Ginger.
It would never be topped ever. It was phenomenal. I'm just kidding, by the way. Hang on, we got a from Dixie here. I remember when Final Fantasy was called Dragon Warrior. Jesus.
No, those are completely different games.
That's yeah. Well, that was just the Japanese types, was it? Oh, hello. Hello, Sam. We were just calling you a cunt earlier. Welcome. Let me just hide that comment.
You never played D&D either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like you fucking nerds and all your nerd stuff that you enjoy.
You're a nerd too.
I know. That's the whole point of me saying it. It's a contradiction.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
Fuck. Okay, where were we? Final Fantasy.
We were talking about the Marvel. Actually.
Oh, the Marvel Disney Showcase thing. Yeah, that was all. Mobile games, and we're not going to talk about those mobile games because they were terrible. But yeah, we've got that Captain America game. I'm hoping it's really, really good. It's got a good storyline.
Yeah.
Though I'm always about the gameplay. If the story sucks in a game, I don't care. If I'm having fun playing it,
yeah,
I'll play. I don't play Splinter Cell for the storyline because there's always shit. I just enjoy the gameplay.
Yeah,
I'll sit through a terrible game for a great story. Case in hand, the Game of Thrones game for PS3. That was the roughest gameplay I've ever played.
Yeah,
fair enough. Mafia 3, one of the shittiest games I've ever played. Absolutely love the storyline. One of my favorite storylines in a game ever. It was just a beautiful Mafia story, but the game was ass. You know, you just sit in a corner and whistle people over and stab them, and that's it. You clear a whole level.
Hey, come here, whip.
Yeah. 20 bodies piled up right in front of them. They don't even notice it. But yeah, if you know, or I'm the other way. But I more lean towards I prefer the gameplay to be fantastic than anything else. Like, you know, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. The story's a pile of shit, but the game is spectacular.
It's like all the shit you could do in the Jedi games. It's
I love that.
I'm looking forward to Jedi Fallen Order 2 or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Oh God, I forget what it's called. But that first one, I've got 100% on that game. I just
props, dude. Props.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't even that hard to get 100% on that. But
no, it wasn't. It wasn't terrible.
No,
I'm actually having a harder time doing it on the Sackboy game. I've got that Sackboy Adventures for PS5. And let me just plug that as something that you can play with a small kid or with your significant other and just have a stupid fun time the same way you would with like Mario. And I am working on 100%ing that game right now just because I have a good time with it. It's not complex. It's not extraordinarily pretty, but it's simple and goofy.
It gets the job done.
Yeah. But that's all you want in a game. That's what I mean. It's a game. It's meant to be fun.
And one
above anything else.
And one that I want to come back that people don't talk about, I want Sly Cooper to come back. The Sly games are so much fun if you haven't played those. The Sly Cooper games.
No, they were great, Sly Cooper. For what they were fantastic.
Yeah, I want those back.
Did we get anything else that was showcased? I've been wanting for Wolverine, and I got nothing.
Yeah.
For God's sake, every PlayStation showcase and every whatever since they've announced it, we've had no news, no updates, no nothing.
I would like some new Spider-Man 2 news.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
And that too, Spider-Man 2 news as well. Mm-hmm. You know, we got nothing. Which just obviously, you know, they're busy playing away, but I just want an update.
Are you guys both on PS5 now too?
I am.
No. I'm on PC now.
I'm on 5, so you can add me. I can message you when this is over, and then you can add me if you like.
Yeah, we'll do that. I don't have a lot of games or game time, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'll add you anyway.
Yeah, I'm on PS4, but it's just gathering dust at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Xbox has been kind of my primary console this generation so far. I really haven't been that impressed with Sony's end of things.
I don't blame you with the Game Pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Game
just
Pass
milk.
is phenomenal.
Just milking that.
And what do you guys
It's
think
worth
about
it.
what do you guys think about Sony being all like, they can't do that? Because I don't know if you guys heard, but Sony's being all like, they can't do this.
Segue.
Yeah,
Perfect, because that
Mhm.
was next.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. Here we have the King of Kings who want exclusivity on everything, have actively paid companies to not put games on the Game Pass, and always undercut and overcharge on everything and want all the exclusives, are crying because they're accusing Microsoft on doing something they're not even going to do, or the next Call of Duty game's insufficient because they think that it's not going to be on the platform anymore. That game makes 1.6 billion pounds on the PlayStation. Microsoft would be stupid to take it off of that platform.
And to add to that, you fuckers at Sony got the beta first. What are you crying about? You got the beta first before Xbox. Xbox doesn't get it for like another 5 days.
Yeah,
So what are
because
you crying about?
they have to honor the contract that they have now,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, PlayStation is scared that Microsoft are going to be like, anyway, no more Call of Duty on the PlayStation. And if they did, so what? This is your chickens coming home to roost. Sony started this kind of anti-consumer attitude of exclusivity and all this kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And here it comes. Your chickens are coming home to roost. And I've got no sympathy. I'm not a fanboy of anything. Like, I'm not tribal. I don't be like, oh, Xbox is blah. I'll go where the good games are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so if this is Sony's demise, so be it. Tough shit. You did this to yourself. Microsoft is just going for the kill shot now. They have the money.
And
to
this
do
is
it.
gonna piss people off, but like, okay, you guys are PC guys, I'm not, and even I'll admit, PC gaming is where it's fucking at now. If you really stop to think about it, because with PC, you can mod the shit if you so choose. So you guys really get the best of everything, depending on what you play. That is.
I mean, PC's always had the best of everything.
Is not easy, and I
Yeah?
think maintaining a gaming PC is more expensive than console gaming.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
more to it. You have to have separate monitors, whereas everyone already owns a TV. You got to have a desk set up. I think there's a lot of additional stuff to it. I generally, as much as I was talking earlier about being a PC gamer, I prefer console gaming for everything but first-person shooters and a couple other styles that I think you need to have a keyboard and mouse for. MMOs being the other one. But yeah, I grew up in the console, man. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that being said, I have no sympathy for Sony. They've gotten way worse. They drag their heels over crossplay. They drag their heels over everything, and they're very anti-consumer. They don't even have a refund system. How many broken games have I bought, and can't get my money back? So screw them. Yeah, they're one of the main reasons why I went to PC next, because I was just like,
yeah, this is
I
one of the
can't
reasons.
stand this shit. Yeah,
It's probably the main reason I've switched over to Xbox, because it's like, yeah, dude, I'm like, okay, Sony used to be the big boy on the block, but then when Xbox came out with Game Pass, that's when I knew it was over.
That's it. That's it. And they can't. Sony can't even get that fucking right. That's all, because their pass is laggy. It's rubbish.
We're not gonna do day one releases. Is the biggest thing that killed them.
Yeah.
Wait, for Sony?
Yeah, Sony.
Sorry,
Like,
I got pinged about work there for a second in the background, but actually no, because they had a day one release with Stray on their and their Game Pass version had Stray on day one. That's what got me to try it out. I've been using.
That's an indie game, though. We're talking like they're big AAA types.
Yeah, AAA types, they won't allow that. They're like, we're not going to do that, and it's like, that's what's killing you. You wonder why people aren't subscribing to your service.
Hopefully they change their minds on that, but
they have some on there, I know, but Stray is actually what got me. I don't care if you want to call it an indie game or not. I don't think it's an indie game. I think
I've heard
it's
it's
more
fantastic.
Like a AA title.
Yeah,
Stray's a great game.
Yeah, Stray is fucking fantastic. I
love that. Great game. Yeah, it's fantastic. But again, the only thing that annoyed me with that is you didn't have that kind of freedom of options to jump around. It was just press this button, jump, press it. That bugged me. But I enjoyed the game.
I hate to do this, but this is the middle of the workday for me, and
Oh.
something urgent has just come up. I need to run away immediately, guys.
Okay.
No worries, Jake, mate. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
Take care.
joining us. See you.
See you, dude. Bye.
All right. Well, yeah, getting into it. Yeah, I have no sympathy for Sony. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Suck it.
But then saying that, they had their showcase, and their showcase was pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know, we watched it together. We did the live stream together.
Mhm.
And there was that kind of Mecha Warriors type game that looked very interesting. There was even a game from Team Ninja. I think the last Ronin or the Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, that I'm going to get at launch when it comes out.
That looks fantastic. Obviously, Ragnarok, for those that like God of War, they got a showcase of that. That looks fantastic.
Yep.
So they still showcase fantastic games, unlike Xbox that shows off a lot of fucking first person games that annoys me. I mean, okay, they have the Game Pass, which is doing fantastic business, but in terms of variety in games and originality, Sony has that element. So I don't know what the fuck they're complaining about. They're putting all their eggs into Call of Duty, then you're fucked. You know what I mean? If you don't, then make a better game. You had Metro, didn't you? You fucked that up.
I know Metro Exodus was pretty fucking dope when it came out.
The one that came out on the PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the launch of PlayStation 4.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, people just want Call of Duty. But anyway, Sony are stupid to put all their eggs into that basket. But their showcase was solid for the most part.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do over the next couple of years. Hopefully they step it up. Hopefully God of War is going to be the start of that. Hopefully by this time next year we get Wolverine and Spider-Man 2.
I think their meal ticket, if they want, is to invest heavily into the Marvel games.
Yes.
Pick up the slack where Square Enix fucked up and go there. Get X-Men. As soon as you get Wolverine in, start introducing some more X-Men characters. Make Wolverine 2 more X-Men-y type based and get that. And that's going to make you bank. Make that into a fucking multiplayer, co-op multiplayer. That'll make you bank. And the one genre where companies aren't really looking into, and they should, is PvP superhero stuff. You know, nobody jumped on that bandwagon. Everyone kind of stayed with Battle Royale, fucking Fortnite, which ruined everything.
And it's kind of sad because I remember when DC Universe Online came out, people exploded over that when that came out.
Loved that game. Yeah. Loved it. I loved that game.
It's a shame that Marvel's yet to do something like that. They should.
Now, Marvel did have theirs, but it was shit, and it was greedy, full of microtransactions, like $50 to buy characters. And all this kind of shit. It was, it wasn't. It was rubbish. But the DC one was great for what it was. I think that was the first game I ever got from the PlayStation Store on PS3.
Yeah,
that was the first game I ever got.
I remember it would take all fucking day for it to download.
Oh my god, PlayStation 3. The bandwidth on that was bloody awful. Yeah. Awful. It took forever to download it. So we had their showcase. But again, they didn't even show Wolverine, which is fucking frustrating. Or Spider-Man 2, which I would expected the Spider-Man at least.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. At least they've got like other games that we can look forward to, and I think that covers all the gaming stuff.
Yep, I think you got it.
I got it all. Yeah. So, and the last thing is just Little Mermaid's Black. Get over it.
I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, I really don't. I'm like, why are we even talking about this? Yeah, it happened. It was bound to happen eventually. Good for them.
Yeah. Who cares? Did you see her? Did you hear her voice? Oh my god!
Yeah.
The minute those pipes rang out, it was like, how could you not give this person the role? If it's a musical and they're good at singing, like nobody goes to a theater. And here's the thing that annoys me: nobody goes to the theater and goes, "Fucking Henry VIII is black." What are they doing? Because in theater, you get what you can, and if they're right for the role, they'll just play the fucking role. Okay, yep. I know they're an actual historical figure compared to a mermaid, but what I'm saying is, theater, nobody gives a shit. Okay, and this is more leaning towards that. It's musical theater, but obviously in animation and then film form. because the musicians that they got did musical theater.
What's funny? Imagine getting pissed off over an imaginary character. That's how far we've fallen as a society. Oh, okay. Ooh, Deadpool 3 was signed today. They're waiting for contractual obligations with Sony to end, requiring to use Dark Phoenix actors. Okay, new games could be coming.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Right, because I'm sitting there going, wait, Sony doesn't have any fucking X-Men characters, but this is gaming stuff. But cool, lovely.
Okay. Yeah, I
Give me
don't hate
more.
it.
Give me more. I want more. I want a fucking good X-Men game. God damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I find the controversy with Little Mermaid hilarious. It's like you're banking on a little um a Little Mermaid live action film to be good or mean anything. You talk about it's my childhood. No, it fucking isn't. Little
No.
Mermaid, the cartoon, was your childhood. The film is not your childhood. It's the same as Transformers is not my childhood. The film, okay, the cartoon is my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and stop banking on artistic things being the be all and end all to your life.
Yeah.
You sad bastard.
Oh,
And I know.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
is
bud.
this is my childhood. How could they ruin it, dude? Didn't your childhood end like 30 fucking years ago? Like, hello.
Exactly. And I know, and on the flip side to that, I know this might piss some people off, but it's the same people that get over emotional about being represented in a film. It's like, calm the fuck down. Your life isn't about what's on the screen being similar to you. If that was the case, I'd cheer every time a fat guy came on the screen. Woohoo! I'm being represented. I get it from a cultural point of view. You might want something on there that's good to kind of that's a rarity, and when it comes, it's like a big phenomenon, like when my big fat Greek wedding came. But it doesn't mean I have to have it every fucking time because it loses being special.
Like, the thing I am gonna say though, I saw the videos of like all these like black girls. They're like, oh, she looks just like me. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm glad that they've taken that step toward that, where it's like, okay, they're being represented, good for them, but for everybody else, get the fuck over it. Plain and simple.
I'm gonna be a bit of a heartless bastard here, but that's what I saw, and I was just like, that's just cringe.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, when it's little kids, fine.
Yeah, because it was little kids. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't. If it's little kids, I'm like, let them have their fucking moment.
Let them have their thing, and if they see themselves on the screen, they're kids.
Yeah.
But when you're a grown fucking adult and you're reacting the same way as a kid, you're like, okay, your life clearly.
It doesn't fit you. It makes you look like, if you're like a 28-year-old adult, you're like, oh, this represents me. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Calm down.
Yeah, for real.
Calm the fuck down. Otherwise, we'd cheer every time a white guy was on the screen.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, okay, for kids, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And on that, you've got plenty of kids cartoon that do fantastic work with representation. And if you want like good gay representation, or you want your kids to kind of know, but give them She-Ra. The remake was phenomenal. I can't stop praising it enough. I introduced it to my nieces. It was great. Because it concentrates on telling a story rather than saying, look, we're all this and that. And it's just like, nope, it's a story. It's really well done. And it has all the good stuff in it. Yep. Was it All Right, Undead Like Me? See, Dixie, there you go. See, it represented zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we wanted. So anyway, I mean, it just, it's become a parody now where it's just, it's ridiculous.
And it's only going to be a matter of time before Disney does something else that pisses you people off, because that you guys are never happy.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But I expect him to do something like that with the X-Men, which unless they get the right actor in, it might trigger me, because when it comes to things like that, I'm a purist. And I mean a purist that I wouldn't fucking like it. Like, I'm pissed off that Namor is an Asian. They've made him Mexican. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are you doing? Or the ancient one where they changed it to a white woman. It was like, what the fuck are you doing?
The cultural accuracy of the comics is what's going to probably bother you as to how.
That's what bothers me. But that's because it's something that I lived and breathed, and then you're introducing it to a different medium, and it's not the same. But I can get over it. Like, I'm not going to fucking cry. So if you want Giancarlo Esposito was Professor X, I'll be like, that's actually a good casting choice
Yeah.
because he's a great actor. He's got the calmness and the dignity of a Professor X, and it plays off of Stan Lee's original creation of Magneto and Professor X with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So them being switched to being black
He's
actually
back.
would make sense from their origins perspective. So
Okay,
again,
so let's get Jake's thoughts about the Little Mermaid being black. What do you
I'm
think?
sure he's triggered. Look at him, white boy.
Oh yeah. Honestly, do you want to know what's really triggered me? Is there's this meme going around Facebook, and it's talking about whitewashing, which is bad, and Hollywood does a lot of it, too much of it. But in the examples, it starts off with Johnny Depp as playing
Tonto.
dude, huh?
Tonto.
Yeah. But the thing is Johnny Depp is Native American. I mean, I wish they would have gotten someone who's full-blooded Native instead of part, but he is. And then they show Wanda Maximoff as being Rwani. Well, in the movie, she's a fake country from Eastern Europe where people are predominantly white. That's my only complaint. Other than that, I have a meme I have proudly made public on my Facebook post reminding people that mermaids are fucking fictional characters and they can be whatever the fuck color they want to be.
They are?
He
In my
said it.
opinion, traditionally underwater elves are blue. So that's what I think color the fucking mermaid should be, but that's because of my love of Dragonlance and not because of some stupid bullshit about my own fucking skin color.
I'm Greek. The myth of mermaids came from my country. Okay, and I can say I don't give a fuck what they look like. And the original mermaids did not look like mermaids. They looked like weird fucking creatures, and then they kind of morphed into like pretty fish bitches. But who cares?
Yeah,
with big tits.
An anime boy's wet dream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's like honestly,
having said all this though, I can't wait to see it because it's going to piss off so many people. I can't wait to see this movie.
If they keep, I keep forgetting the guy's name, but the guy who wrote the music for the original Little Mermaid, if they keep that in there with her voice,
oh, dude, it's going to be one of the greatest
I'm good
because
I don't care. I will download the soundtrack.
Yeah,
don't give a shit.
But a lot of people complaining about a black mermaid say nothing about a white Jesus. Thank you. The color, not the color for these people. Yeah, it's about the color, not the color change for these people. Yeah, I agree.
Well, these same people would never have complained when Gandhi was played by a fucking white guy, or when they fucking Genghis Khan was played by John Wayne, all this kind of shit. They love that shit.
Yeah. I can't wait to see when they reboot Beauty and the Beast and they do this type of shit where they make Beauty black, and it just pisses so many people off if they did like an African American version.
Well, they've already come out with the live action, so I don't think they'll do that.
Well, yeah, that's true. But when they reboot it in like another maybe 30 years, because they'll do that. It's Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all be old and dead by then, so who gives a shit? Society would have completely collapsed, but Disney will reign supreme.
Yeah, the mouse is going to outlive us all. Ha ha.
He will become sentient.
Not if they keep pissing off their government overlords down there.
Oh, yeah, out in Florida, yeah, all that crazy shit. They still got all that going on?
Well, I mean, they lost all their special tax statuses now.
Yeah, and Winnie the Pooh is public domain now as well.
And is this true? He's getting a horror movie? Because if that's so,
it's true.
Okay.
Winnie the Pooh is literally you can make an entire Winnie the Pooh thing now, monetize it.
Oh, dude, I would.
But the thing is, it has to be based off of the original Winnie the Pooh. And
the original.
The updated story.
Yeah.
Disney took the original story and updated it, so the original is good.
If they want to go. If they want to go with the theory, and you guys know what the theory is, right? Like you guys have seen the meme of like all the animals, like what their psychological problems is. Mm-hmm. That would be so fucking funny. Like to us, it would be hilarious. Kids would be like, I don't get it. But to like the three of us, we would just lose our fucking minds.
Oh, man, I'd love it.
Yeah. Like Christopher Robin on shrooms,
But if they keep pissing people off, like DeSantis could, or the government could just literally turn around and say like, well, you know what? Fuck you. Mickey Mouse is now public domain. And they can do that because legally all the Disney characters should be public domain by now. But Disney are renowned for constantly twisting the law in their favor
And I
to
apologize.
keep the gone. Yeah.
And I apologize for cutting you off. I'm sorry. Does the public domain for Mickey expire in 2028? I thought.
Something it's coming up again. They
Okay.
did something to renew it, even though they shouldn't be able to renew it. But even that's going to eventually wear off. And Steamboat Willie, which is the original one,
I'm
is
going
going
to
to
Wikipedia
eventually
that.
public domain.
Give me.
But back to what you were saying, Ginger. That's actually a federal thing instead of a state thing, and they're only
Yeah,
pissing
that's why I
off the
said
state.
government. I fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Just our government over in this country is all fucking stupid. So I don't expect anyone not
Yeah.
fucking to understand that bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways.
Oh, okay. 2024, apparently. Did it get renewed? I'm kind of curious. Okay. Disney could lose exclusive rights to Mickey Mouse by 2024.
Wow.
All
would
right.
be
Let's see.
crazy. But at the same time, they're not making any money off of Mickey anymore, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
He's never been a good mascot. Anyway, he's a boring cunt. Donald Duck's been more my jam. Fucking angry, shouty, punchy guy is always going to win over a pussy mouse.
Like, as a father of a toddler, I watch a lot of Disney, and they don't come out with like new things that he would be interested in that use those original Disney characters. Instead, he's watching Bluey, which is an Australian show that everyone in the world should watch. I seriously want to start making a Bluey.
I know Bluey. Yeah, I know Bluey.
Last thing I remember that he did.
Jake, I'll tell you what. Sorry,
go
Jose.
ahead.
Before I do that, oh shit, what was it called? Introduce your toddler to Dougie. Okay,
Dougie,
because Dougie, as an adult, you will love it. It's a British kids show, but it's so witty and so funny that as an adult, you're pissing yourself laughing while your kids just sitting there enjoying all the funny colors. And even that, the way it kind of does this kind of subtle representation, even though all the characters are animals, but when you look at the parents' kids when they drop them off to Dougie, like there's one that's a single parent, there's one that's adopted because you can tell like their parents are different animals, and all this kind of stuff. So it's really sweet. It's a really sweet show. But as me and my brother will sit there and binge watch it. So my nephews are having the time of our life. Me and my brother having the time of our life, singing the stupid songs and all this kind of stuff.
All the fucking inside jokes. It's like I was watching. Okay, this is kind of not really related, but I was watching like Nickelodeon's like top 10 travesties and
not that Dougie. No, not that Dougie. It's,
I know.
It's a different. It's like a dog character.
But like,
I literally just Googled it in the background. Yeah.
But for shit. But for shit that like top the list, like Ren and Stimpy, it still holds up. Like that show, they say it's made for kids, but I'm like, no, it isn't.
Oh, hey, Dougie, it's cool. No. Sorry.
Yeah. But okay, yeah. I think the last thing Mickey Mouse did was something for one of their like Disney preschool channels or whatever the hell, and I don't think they've done anything with Mickey since. I could be wrong on that though.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of new content on it.
Yeah, they one of the like they could really make a really good fucking film with these characters. Like Mickey gets kidnapped and it's up to like Goofy and Donald and whoever to kind of get back and save the day and get him, and they just fucking fight their way through Disneyland to save like not Disneyland or whatever, the magical world or whatever they fucking call it, and all of that. It's a simple premise. You get Mickey out the way, who's boring anyway. And you get all the interesting characters fumbling their way trying to rescue him, and it just works.
Here's an idea, even though I know Square Enix won't go for it. What if they did Kingdom Hearts the movie? I would actually see that if they did that. I wouldn't hate it.
No,
you wouldn't want it.
I mean, I think it would suffer the same thing as a lot of video game adaptations. What makes the story work in the video game is the fact that the game lasts for 50 hours.
Yeah.
And you burst that story out over 50 hours, and you can get really complex, and you get character growth time outside of plot development. Because usually in a game, you will have character growth as kind of like little small cutscenes, and then your plot development is these big longer cutscenes. And so then with video games, in my opinion, when they translate these into stories, they only focus on the plot scenes and they ditch the character development. And it would be a crappy experience. And yeah, definitely they need to bang.
Or what I'd like to see is if they did like Super Smash Bros. As a movie, like all the Nintendo characters just fight it the fuck out for whatever reason. That would
No.
be dope too if they did that.
As an animation, probably, yeah, you can have a
I
bit of fun
feel
with
like
that.
the only reason that you think that's a good idea is because you watch wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like if you didn't have that garbage sewage pumped into your brain, you would realize how
Whoa, what a
movie
heel.
that would make.
How dare you? That's
How
a heel
dare
turn
you.
by Jake. That's
Oh,
a heel
what a
turn
heel.
by Jake.
Yeah,
Oh
what a
man, I
heel.
hate.
He's
I hate
true,
wrestling.
but how dare you?
How
Wrestling is-
dare you.
Look.
it's theatrics to propel the toxic masculinity movement in most
Don't tell them
It's
that.
It's male ballet.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty much.
No, it's
male ballet.
but the problem isn't the fact that it's male ballet. It's the storylines that perpetuate male toxic
yeah.
masculinity.
100%
Everything
for the
has to be
fans.
settled by a fist fight.
Listen, look.
I love how we've evolved to
They
talk
have
about
to
wrestling.
immediately go into a rage over the smallest infraction. They all Karen on each other. Just watch it. It's like watching male Karens with muscles eventually turn into a fake fight. And they just keep Karening so bad that they don't know what else to do, and they have to go around into the ring and pretend to fight.
Stop.
They have to perpetuate toxic masculinity because it's the only thing that most of their fans can understand.
Dude, stop it on the
That's what makes it great.
I want to keep going just to see how much more I can make you break down there, David McMahon.
Well, damn.
The problem here is that, you were talking shit behind the back. So now I'm going to go through some fake punches because I don't know anything else. And all my viewers cannot handle a real conversation about our feelings.
Unless you're British, in which case we watch it because it's funny as hell. we watch it from the more comedic aspects of it, and you can tell that because, like, I can't speak for the American audience, but the British audience was sitting there like just got fed up with WWE because of just how out fucking dated it was.
Yeah.
So if you watch this stuff on the indie scenes and all this kind of stuff, it's a lot more articulate. It was a lot more clever. The problem with the wrestling industry, it was dominated by one man who is exactly everything you said.
Yeah.
With Vince McMahon. It was dominated by him, who perpetuated all the garbage that you said. And that's built a mentality within the fandom and within wrestlers that they have to be an arsehole and a piece of shit human being to kind of get by. And, I'd like to say things have changed, but it was only a few years ago where we had the summer of what was the female movement where they all came out accusing wrestlers of sexual misconduct and rape and assault and all this kind of stuff. It was only not Me Too. No, it was there was a specific hashtag for it for the wrestling movement, and
Give it a chance, I think is what it was.
And then I was just like, well, that just fucking stops everything I thought about British wrestling, because apparently we're the biggest sex offenders. And I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, you think because like they embraced the changing of women wrestling into less about fucking pillow fights and all this kind of stuff and more as like female beating the shit out of each other, you think, yeah, we've really made a lot of progress here. Then you hear all the sexual accusations, you're just like, God damn it. They're still arse fucking backwards. Yeah, Uncle Bad Touch. Yeah, that was it. But I don't know how we got into wrestling. God damn it!
Yeah,
we're stopping and talking about wrestling. I said we're not talking about fucking wrestling, and here we are talking about wrestling. I blame you, Jake, because you did a comparison to.
It's absolutely my fault, and I am proud to derail any conversation I'm part of. Like I'm just really glad I was able to come back and continue harassing you guys.
We love it. We don't mind it.
I love it. I'm gonna have a good wank over it later on. So I'm good.
Oh, Pawnee. That's the Pawnee I missed.
Mia horny. Oh, racism. I just fucking did there, but never mind. Yeah. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah,
we've gone on long enough.
We have to get ready for She-Hulk anyway. Here
yeah, we'll be back for She-Hulk.
Yeah,
the show of many surprises, and we won't say any of our feelings here because Otherwise, what's the point of doing the live stream for that? So,
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone in the comments that took part. I always love it when people comment on our live streams because it keeps things going.
Today.
Yeah. Great comments, great participation. Thank you all. I want to thank my hosts who kicked ass and had nothing but good shit to say, even on wrestling. And we'll be back in 2 hours, pretty much, or just under 2 hours to talk She-Hulk. So, again, thank you all and see you later on. Bye.